big boys play.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live Stream Reviews. I'm Christian Karasiewicz, the content marketing manager at StreamYard, and I'm flying solo today. So we're going to be doing live stream reviews. I'm going to be doing them like typically like I normally do, maybe a bit slower. So if you could bear with me, that'd be great. But the goal of this show is to help you with your live streams. So I want to thank everybody who has joined us. I see a lot of really familiar faces. I see Adam's exploits. Yeah, Adam, it's been a few weeks. We do the show now once a month. Charles happened to have an engagement come up today, and so we do this once a month where we basically we like to bring you on, talk about your live streams, and see how we can help you. So let me just see if there's any good comments coming in. We've got a Creative Lady tuning in from Memphis. Good to see you. Thanks a lot for joining us. Coding for Kids. Good to see you as well. We probably met at some point. Thanks a lot for joining. Magical Butterfly Spirit as well. Thanks a lot for joining as well. Thinking about doing live streams. So with live streaming, would love to know, what's your challenge with live streaming? That I guess is my question for everyone who's watching right now. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to live streaming and video creation? Is it the consistency? Is it getting viewers to tune in? Is it, the topic that you're streaming about? So let us know in the comments, or at least let me know. And I want to kind of hear from you on that. So let's see what we got going on. By the way, lots of people tuning in. We've got people, Taro with Ruby tuning in from the Netherlands. She says she's about to have dinner. I'm going to have lunch after this show. So, so obviously big time difference, but I want to thank you for taking some time to tune in right before your dinner. We also have Vasu's Vegetarian Kitchen. We got a little lunch theme going here from India. Thank you very much for tuning in as well. Let's see, what else do we have here? Melinda Fargus says sometimes she has thousands of views and sometimes 30. So Melinda, a question I'd have on that is, have you looked at the content? Have you gone into the analytics to see, for example, is one show longer than another? What was the topic? Maybe what contributed to that engagement? Look at the title of the live stream. If, for example, if you're streaming to YouTube, it looks like you're streaming to YouTube. You can go to YouTube and you can check out, I look at my topic and see if that's, potentially what is drawing a viewer in. Some topics, got to remember, not every show you do, not every topic is going to hit, it's going to work. And so what you want to do is you want to, you don't want to just put out content just to be putting out content. You want to make sure that what you're putting out is what your audience wants to see. And if you're not sure what that is, ask them. So for example, those shows that you have 1,000 views on, you got 1,000 views. Did you optimize it differently, versus the ones that only got 30? Did you promote it differently? You got to really look at, you got to dig into the live stream versus just doing more live streams. It's not about just doing more live streams. It's about, putting the content out there, making sure that what you put out is what your viewers want. Very cool. Tom Rouse here, tuning in from South Alabama. They do a Strange Journey show. Great. Fantastic. Before we begin, I'm going to address this one question. This is from Coding for Kids. They said, can you give me a free trial in StreamYard? So Coding for Kids, all you have to do is go to StreamYard.com. Actually, go to StreamYard.com and you can sign up. We have a free plan. We have a basic plan, a pro plan, as well as a business plan. But sign up for the free plan. That'll at least get you started with your streaming journey. And then, you can decide whether you want to stick on that plan or upgrade depending on what your needs are for your live streams. Okay, so let's before we begin, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to come backstage with me, by the way. So if you have a question, I just have a couple of housekeeping things here. And I also want to share a new feature actually that we've released as well. So the first thing I have is, if you have any sort of question during the show, just put a Q at the beginning of it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to basically be trying to manage these at the same time and, try and star them so that we'll basically spend some time going through those questions during the show. If you have a feature request, so if you have any sort of feature request that comes up, very simple. I just want you to go to StreamYard.com/contact. So do me a favor. I don't necessarily want those in the comments. I prefer, if you want to have them seen by our developers, just, please send feature requests to StreamYard.com /comment contact. There's literally there's a link on that page where you can basically go in, and what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to send those requests to our team, because they want to hear from you, but they want to also get some details about it as well. So that would be especially useful. Petty Talks TV, by the way, do me a favor. Yeah, actually, if you want to come backstage, I'm going to drop the link actually real quick, and you can come backstage. Actually, that would actually be super helpful if you want to help me out. So Petty Talks, here you go. Fantastic. Okay. So while I'm waiting for Petty Talks to come backstage, so Petty Talks, thanks for actually helping me. I really appreciate that. So what I want to do is I want to talk about a new feature that we have released, and this is available across all the plans. And my camera may look a little different today, and that feature is because we have mirroring. And so mirroring is this, here, I'll just actually show you how to work it. So let's see. Okay, so for those of you who want to flip your camera, for example, left hand being raised up, it's exactly what you're going to see on camera. So now there's a new mirroring feature, and this is what the feature looks like. And so basically, I'm not sure who this is. So basically, here's the new mirroring feature. So basically, the mirroring feature, the way it works is you're going to go down now. You can go down to settings, and you're going to go under camera. Here, let me show you this. I've got a little magnifying glass. I'll show you this. So if we start off at settings, so let's do that again. Here's settings. We're going to now go into camera. And then you're going to see right here, there's an option that says mirror my video. And that mirroring feature, just a quick heads up, it does say that, if you've got an overlay or things like that, you may, it may cover you up. You got to remember, if you've previously built overlays and you turn the mirroring on, it may not work necessarily with what you're doing. So let me go ahead and flip my camera and show you what that looks like. So as you can see, you're seeing what that view change, what it looks like. So that, for example, was my typical view. It was backwards. And now you have the ability to mirror your video. Pretty neat. What do you all think about that? You like it? Let me know in the comments. Oh, cool. I also want to say, Packer Dude, by the way, Packer Dude, if you want to come backstage as well, you're welcome to come backstage. So let me get that link as well for you. So anyone who wants to help me, that'd be great, actually. So let's see. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and suggest, if you're doing a stream and you have a very busy and a very active live stream, you got to remember it does take quite a bit of work, And so, as you can see, I'm trying to respond to comments. I'm trying to also be in tune with my guest, and it can be challenging if you don't happen to have if you don't happen to have a team to help you produce the show. So just a quick heads up. Okay, so Packer Dude, if you want to, let's see if Packer. Okay, I have a couple people coming in, so let me see where they're coming in at. Okay, I think they got the wrong link actually. So Packer Dude, I'm going to send you this link. And then also, we also had Petty Talks TV. If you want to join me as well, just feel free to come backstage. I'd love to have you help me out. That would be fantastic. While this is going, so Adam's Exploits asking me a question. He says, "Hey, this highlighting tool?" And I wonder, are you talking about the magnifying glass? So let me know. Adam's Exploits, if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for the magnifying glass, that'd be let me know. That basically is a Google Chrome extension. And let me see, it's called Magnifying Glass Hover Zoom. Let me actually pull that up for you. So I'll go ahead and share this one. This is it's a Google Chrome extension. Basically, you can change the size of the magnifying glass as well. So if you're somebody who wants to be able to highlight, I'm gonna say highlight, be able to make it easier for your viewers to see certain things instead of having this pulled out view of things. having this zoomed in option, basically, yeah, you can go and you can use that tool. So this is the tool. It's by the way, just a quick heads up. Coding for kids. I know you've asked me a few times about coming on screen and whatnot. Do me a favor, just please bear with me. I'm, I'm managing the entire stream right now by myself, so I'm trying to get my moderators in place first, and then we'll keep working on things. So Petty Talks TV, just do me a favor, come backstage, and I can I can work with you. So. Okay, so Melinda has a good question. She's asking about this zooming in tool, by the way. So I'm going to go and turn it on, and basically, yeah, it can zoom in on anything that you have on your screen, basically. So let me see how that shows up to you all. So basically, I enabled the zoom, and then yeah, I can zoom in on pretty much anything that's on my screen there. It doesn't let you actually zoom in. If you're thinking like camera zoom, no, it does not work like that. It's more for like if I'm sharing a screen and I want to show people something. So just kind of keep that in mind. So if you want to, if you want to zoom in on your face, things like that, that's going to be a functionality of your camera or the application that you're using as well. And then Adam, it can only magnify. Actually, it doesn't look like it can highlight. So you basically enable it, and then once you have it enabled, you'll be able to. It's sort of like a weird setting. You have to go in and you have to adjust how large the magnification is, and then go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna actually. If you got questions, by the way, put your questions in the comments, and I'll do my best to get to those. Let's see, what else do we have? And Tom Rouse, Tom, you're absolutely right. An extra person on your account. By the way, you get that through StreamYard Teams is also very helpful, because what you can do with that is you can then divvy up your responsibilities. For example, somebody could be responsible for managing overlays and videos. Somebody could also be responsible, like what Charles and I would normally do is he would be responsible for starring comments, so that when we get to the end of the show, we don't have to go back and figure out what kind of comments came in and whatnot. So Packard Dude, let me bring you in real quick. Let's just see about chatting, actually. How you doing?
Doing good. I must have clicked the wrong link.
That's okay. It's okay. You probably came into the other one, right? So you're live now with everybody. So do you want to help me out a little bit?
Of course.
Okay. Very cool. So what's your stream about, by the way? Let's start there.
Same as the one I've always talked about when I've come on here before. It's just
just tell viewers. I know, but like tell viewers, like what do you stream about usually?
I along with my co-host, we do our talk show. Here, let me adjust this so that light's not blinding you.
Yeah, sure.
So we do lately, because of a couple issues we've had with trolls, we've been doing solo chill streams to check in and see how everyone's been doing.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it. So what's your stream about? Tell me what your stream. What's the stream about, actually?
So usually we allow people to promote their business or what they've been working on.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
But now because of that, that's on hiatus until I get comfortable and get the stuff with the trolls settled down.
Got it. Okay. Very good. Yeah, good call. And that's the thing, like, you have to make sure you're managing your streams. So don't just you got to remember everything you do on your live streams impacts your channel. So just be mindful of that. By the way, I just want to address a real quick question. So Petty Talks TV, do me a favor. There's a different link. You're in the wrong backstage area. So feel free to come into the actual channel we're on right now. So let me see if I can get a comment over to them. Let's see.
I can't believe I am actually in a second going to be in Charles's position. Or
so you're in Charles's position right now. Yes. So let's see. So for those, by the way, if you want to come on screen with us, here's basically what we're going to ask. So for those of you who want to come on screen, basically what we ask is we ask that you let us know in the chat. Let us know what your question is. Include a link to your channel, what your question is, and then we're going to basically try to do some screening and whatnot before we bring everybody in. So let me see if I can get you on the team actually real quick. And by the way, I'm in the middle of the, this is the fun part about trying to add you while I'm in the middle of the stream. So let me figure this out. You know what? How about we do this? Why don't we I'll manage everything else. Why don't we just have you help me answer questions? How does that sound? Does that work?
Fair enough.
Cool. We'll go with that.
So
for those, yeah, go ahead.
So I'll be Charles for today.
Yes. Okay. So for those who want to come on screen, we're going to drop the backstage link in the comments right now. And so if you want to have a question, just put it out here on, just let us know in the comments. Join us backstage, and then we'll work to bring you in. So please join us here. Okay. We got a lot of good questions, by the way, coming in too. I see we got questions about people wanting to know about. In this case, this is Carmi Synergy 2009. They want to know, they purchased some seats. How long can they use these seats for? Basically, if you purchase the seats, they're good until you're paying for them. So they're good until once you've used them, you can then take them and reassign them and whatnot. But again, once it basically comes down to as long as you're paying for them.
Ooh, I like this one. Oh, it's not going to let me do it because.
How about this? Why don't you just tell me what it is?
What is the best way to test your audio while you are live streaming?
Oh, that is a good question. Actually, that's a very good question. Okay, so I'm going to bring that. I'll bring that one up, and then I see Petty Talks TV's backstage as well, and I'll bring Petty Talks TV on, and we might have 2 moderators today, which would be great, actually. Or I'd say moderator, co-host. Basically, you're going to help me run the show. So let's see. So Data is King wants to know, what's the best way to test your audio while you're live streaming? So do you want to take that one?
Yeah, and I will actually say I don't really like to test my audio while I'm live streaming. I always do it before I start.
Okay. Yeah. And why is that? Okay, so let's talk about that. Why do you do that?
I do that because I don't want to have bad audio while I'm in the middle of streaming, or because I only use one word while I'm testing my audio. So, because the studio has that little meter that shows how good your audio is.
Okay.
So before I fully enter the studio, I will go check or test, and I will see how far up the meter goes, and that's how I will know if my audio is good or bad.
Okay, good. Okay, so I want to take that question as well. So what's the best way to test your audio while you're live streaming? Again, I do not recommend doing it during the live stream either. I recommend having somebody come in beforehand. So granted, now today I wasn't able to do that with Packer Dude here. However, so I wasn't able to do that. However, what I like to do is I like to have everybody come on ahead of time. So then this way I can listen to different things. What I will typically do, for example, Petty Talks, I'm going to add you to the stream real quick, and I'll kind of show people how I do this. So here's what I would do. So for example, if this was, I would start my stream and I would say, hey, you know what? We're going to start. I want my guests to show up 30 minutes early. Okay. Something along those lines. Now, what I would do is this. I would take every single person. I'm going to solo each person. For example, I'm going to mute myself. And then what I'm doing is I'm listening to what people are saying. So for example, I'm listening to, if I hear any audio or anything like that from Packer Dude while I've muted them, while I've muted everyone else, I'm able to listen. And then I also can run it through some other programs to be able to, see what kinds of volumes are there. I'm listening for, hey, is the mic, how does the mic sound? Is there feedback coming up? Is there, maybe the mic placement's off. So that's going to be one thing I'm going to do. Another way I would test that as well, again, is there's plenty of audio. There's a bunch of audio programs to be able to test. For example, let me see if I can find the name of this one. Let's see. So there's one that I use on a Mac, and it is called, and Packard, if you have any specific apps you've used, let me know. Let me see.
Nope. No specific apps. I just use what StreamYard provides me.
Okay. And there are a couple of apps. Let me see if I could find the name of this one. Let's see. I can't remember the name offhand, but there is one that I do use, and it's basically for doing the leveling. So basically you can see what the decibel levels are for everyone. And what you want to have happen is you don't want them to be clipping, basically. You don't want them to be hitting the red or the red or the orange on the you don't want to have them hit the red on the meter. If you're in the yellow, that's okay, but you typically want to be in the green to yellow on a meter, and then that way you can bring that person's gain up, for example, if the decibels are too low. And just keep in mind, by the way, you don't want to bring the gain all the way up as well, because the problem with that is you're going to start to get clipping that will start to happen, basically, where it's peaking and then it's going to start to clip the audio and it's going to start to sound really bad. So again, I would never test it during the live stream. The other reason why I wouldn't test it during the live stream is because I would not do it during the live stream because, for example, I brought in Packer Dude and I brought in Petty Talks here. And so the thing is, when I brought them in, I have no idea if, for example, if I brought Petty Talks in, I have no idea if her audio is really bad. So I need to test that beforehand so that then when I bring the person in, everything is going to be there. So here's a question actually from exactly Erica. And this is in relation to, testing your audio while you're live streaming. So Petty Talks or Packer Dude, can either of you answer this one?
Oh, I didn't know you put me on already.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you test with voice meter? I mean, what do you think? You should be able to.
Well, I don't use voice meter, so that one is something that I cannot answer.
Basically, what I do, Christian, is I always make sure that I ask my guests to come in ahead of time. It really pays for us to be able to test before we go live, because most of the guests I have don't have the equipment that we normally would like them to have. They usually just, like me right now, I was just here as a listener. I just have my headset.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think as an advice, I would tell that please come in early so we can check your audio. When you're all good, you can leave your laptop and then come back a few minutes before we go live.
Okay. Exactly. And I'm gonna use you as an example. Don't take this the wrong way, please. So your audio, for example, the audio quality is very, like you heard a second ago, I turned off echo cancellation. I bumped your volume up because the volume was is really low. Yeah. It doesn't even sound like the mic's hitting your mouth, for example. So that's the thing, just demonstrating this is that, if you've got issues with, this is why I'd want to test you beforehand, because I want to make sure your audio sounds good. And that's what we normally do with this show is we send people, we have a green room where we send them to a green room. We test everything. We make sure when we bring them on that they actually do sound good. So again, that's so you never really want to test during the live stream. We want to do it all beforehand. So Chelsea's live line, another good comment. They create a test studio so that you can create multiple StreamYard studios. And then they actually record theirs. You don't have to go this route, but you can record and then you can see what it sounds like and then go and listen to it. That's where I'd put headphones in and I'd actually listen to those headphones and see, okay, is there, like, for example, right now I'm hearing in my headphones, I'm hearing audio from, I'm hearing sounds like a waterfall or something like that. And so, I'm hearing like echo. I'm hearing basically some audible noise. Yeah, there you go. Whatever you just turned off. What was that? Computer fan, air conditioning?
Fan. It's a fan.
Okay, fan, exactly. So I'm hearing noise and I'm not hearing it now, which is great. So again, you want to make sure you do these things beforehand. because again, when you bring them into the stream, you never know what you're going to get. You never know if the person's headphones aren't even going to work. So you want to do all that stuff and rule it all out before you start the stream. Okay. So does anybody want to join us backstage, by the way, and come on screen with us?
It looks like we have 4 people back there.
We have no one back there, actually.
Oh, that's weird. It's showing on my end. We have 4.
I'm just seeing you, myself, and Packer Dude. Sorry, you, myself, and Petty Talks. So
interesting.
What names are you seeing, by the way?
Let me
give me like 1 or 2 names. Just
I see Petty Talks, Arian.
Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not seeing any of those. Okay.
Okay.
No big deal.
Must be just me.
That's interesting, actually. Do me a favor. Can you just email me a screen, or you probably can? Yeah, I think we're connected on Facebook or something. Just message me like a screenshot or something at some point, so I can see what you've got. That'd be good. So, let's see.
Okay,
so,
maybe it was the comments I was seeing.
Maybe. Okay.
Backstage comments I was seeing.
Okay. And by the way, this show is all about you all. By the way, we only do this once a month. I've been, and I'm only doing it for a little over an hour now left. So if you have questions or anything that you want to come on and talk with us about, we want to talk to you. So we want to hear from you. We want to hear what your streams are about. We want to hear, what kinds of challenges you have and things like that. And and Coding for Kids. Yeah, I did kick you out from the studio because it didn't look like you were a kid, actually. So just wanted to be mindful of that. So let's do this. I got a bunch of questions here. Let's go through.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Petty Talks?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you want me to help you read out some questions and then we can answer it so that
sure. We'll do the show a little differently. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that.
So there's a question here from Carmi Seren Energy 209. I can't read it so well. So it's actually 12:39 a.m. here from where I am, but I'm so glad to help you out, Christian.
So give me the question.
Can I edit my recording in StreamYard itself before putting it out in the cyber world?
So I'm not seeing, I got to say this. I'm not seeing any of these comments you're talking about.
Oh, they're in the comments. They're starred. They're in the starred comments.
Okay,
somebody
good. Okay,
them.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. So let's see. So let me find that one real quick.
It's 4th from the top.
Yeah, I just had it, but I lost it, actually. Let me see where it went.
And guys, remember to make sure you put a Q for your question so it makes it... Sorry about that, guys. I forgot about my alarm I have.
By the way, another little tip, if you've got, before I answer this question, if you've got alarms or you've got cell phones or things like that, and you have them near your computer, they can cause interference with your microphone, speakers, things like that. And then the other thing is if you've got, sometimes you may have do not disturb on, but it may be set up to allow calls from certain people. If you don't want to allow that stuff, put the phone away. For example, my phone's not here on my desk. So I always recommend moving it out of the way and then putting on do not disturb if you can. Okay.
Again, sorry about that.
Fine. Okay. So let me see. So Karmas Energy 2009 says, can I edit my recording in StreamYard itself before putting it out in the cyber world? So you can't actually do editing in StreamYard. So like you can do your recordings, you can do a live stream. If you ever need to do editing, you need to use third-party tool, such as a Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere. If you're on a Mac, you could use Apple iMovie. Let's see what else. ScreenFlow is another tool for editing, that sort of thing. And those basically allow you to then do like editing, and then you can do like layering and things like that, and bring in lower thirds and transitions and like animations, things like that between your clips. Those are some ways. What other tools do you all use for editing, or do you do any editing, Petty Talks or Packer Dude?
I do not do any editing because I have no editing skills whatsoever.
Okay. Got it. Petty Talks, what about you? You're muted, by the way.
Yeah. I just use iMovie, actually. Okay. Yeah. So simple.
Okay, got it. Great. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna. I'm a little slow moving today, by the way. I'm just.
There's a nice comment here about the audio issue we had this is by Backyard Politics.
Okay, I'll get to that one in a second. Yep. Give me one second, actually.
Sorry.
And then the other thing I was going to say is, and exactly, Erica brings up another good tool. DaVinci Resolve is a good tool as well. NLTMW also seems to be seconding that one. There's a free version and a paid version of it as well. So, yeah. So go and check those out as well if you want to. There's also, I think it's called HitFilm Express. That's another editing program as well. So there's lots and lots of options. JV's Hangout says the same thing. Again, looking for a free. I would always say go for free software, but there is good free software out there for some of the editing. In this case, JV's Hangout says, hey, they pay for Premiere, so why not use that, right? Okay.
Now, while we're getting our stuff sorted out here, I want to remind everyone to, if you have a question, make sure you put a Q in front of it so it makes it easy for us to find it.
Yep, definitely. So put a Q at the beginning. That does help. I mean, I'm trying to bounce back and forth between the two. So please do it. Please do this favor and do that. That helps us quite a bit. Okay. Let me do this real quick. By the way, let's go. There's a lot of questions here. So, if you want to join us, all you have to do is go to the link that I'm about to drop. And then do me a favor, Petty Talks, please prep a question for me. Okay. Just going to give me what the next question is. You there?
Put up a question, you said?
Please pull up a question.
All right. Any?
One of the ones in the start section. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Who's the who?
I don't have the capability to show the comment.
No, I know you don't. Okay, I'll pull it up. Never mind. Okay, so
there's no option for me to do
it. I'm going to take a couple questions, and I've got a couple people backstage as well waiting. So let's do that. So, Magical Butterfly.
I can't touch the banners.
It's okay. I got it. Don't worry. It's okay.
Okay.
So Magical Butterfly Spirit wants to know, can you use StreamYard through your phone or only on Mac or PC? So StreamYard's browser based. You simply just go to StreamYard.com. The experience, obviously you can use it on a mobile phone. Not all the features are going to work on a mobile phone. For example, green screen, things like that don't work on the mobile device. But you can use it from either desktop or mobile. So just keep that in mind. Again, StreamYard.com. All you have to do is go on there. There's no app to download. Just go through the browser and you'll be able to sign up and use the product.
I want to take this one real quick. Which sound are you using when you are starting a countdown? Or the sounds that you hear in the countdowns are actually built into the countdown, and they are actually contracted with a company called Easel. So.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Very good. Very good question. Yes. So let's see. So again, that's a countdown timer. So if you're going to build a countdown timer, you can edit this in any program. You basically make a countdown timer, and then you can, basically you're creating layers. You're stacking content. So basically you might have a video clip that plays for 60 seconds that has a countdown timer on it. Or it could just be a moving background. You stack a 60-second timer that counts down over top of that. And then underneath that, in your program you're using, you can add audio. And then that would be for creating your countdown timer. Once you've done that, you export the file, then upload it into StreamYard under the brand and then video clip section. So let's see. And yes, there is JV's Hangout. Yes, there is a countdown timer option in Canva. Canva has it. You also have it for, I think Easel has it as well, or you can make it in, Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere, any of those kinds of programs. So those all work. Okay, let me take, let's take two more questions here, and then let's bring in our guests that are backstage. Okay. So let's see. Hope JZR wants to know, can we change the place where to show the comments? You cannot. No, the comments all at, right now, they all show on the bottom of your screen. So you are going to want to be mindful, by the way, just a heads up, I'm going to solo myself. So for example, if I'm far back from the camera like this, and I bring up this comment, I want to make sure obviously that I'm not cutting off my chin with that comment. You know, if I'm too close to the camera, I'm going to cut off my chin. Or if the comment is too large, when this also applies to banners, if they're too large, they basically can, you know, cut you off on screen. So just kind of keep that in mind, but you cannot change the placement of the comments. Let's see, we covered that one as well. Let's see.
Ooh, since I am experiencing this same issue, I want to take this one. Time to expat. I am having a serious problem with trolls. How can I assign moderators to help keep my channel troll free?
Okay. So what do you suggest? Let's put you back on.
So with that, if you have people in your stream that you know and trust, you can actually click on their name and add them as a moderator, which will give them the power to either hide the people that are trolling your stream from the channel completely, or just time them out. But with that, I highly recommend you connect with them through like Discord or some communication servers so that you can decide what punishment you feel is necessary, depending on the severity of the trolling.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Good points. Good points. Anything else you want to add, Petty Talks? You're muted again.
That's basically it with trolls.
Okay.
I usually just have a team to work with me.
Okay.
It's always, you know what? Having come from live events, it always helps to have rehearsals.
Okay.
So that's my key ingredient. Always have your run of show and have people assigned per section, somebody assigned to comment, somebody assigned to overlay, somebody assigned to video shares. That's how I do it. Because it's although when I have streams that are very simple, like it's just me and a guest and there's not much going on in terms of production, it's easier to handle. But if you want like a full digital production, you have to make sure, as though it were a live event, you have people assigned per specific area of the stream.
Exactly. And again, and that person might have one job, but that's
right.
That's the one thing they're there to do to help keep your production moving along like it needs to. So and I want to just highlight a couple of really good comments from NLTMW regarding the same topic. So let me find those real quick. So one is you're going to need alert and reliable moderators on each platform that you're streaming to. Yes, very true, because then that way people can go on and they can address those questions and comments while that is going on. In addition to that, NLTMW also says, make sure that your moderators are aware of your limits of behavior for your channel as well. So again, that's setting the boundaries and the guidelines, that you want your moderators to abide by as well. How strict are you going to be with banning somebody, blocking them, and so forth. So,
for my communication system, I actually have a messenger group chat that I created. So
good, very good. Okay, so let's do this. Let's we'll hold off on the questions. I'm waiting for, by the way, Ghost Host, Data's King, Joan Benko, and Backyard Politics. Do me a favor. I sent you all private messages. Do me a favor. I just need to find out what your questions are before we bring you on. So please check the private chat for me. While we're doing that, I'm going to actually take a couple of other questions. So this is from a happy hoarder. They want to know how to set up 2 cameras at the same time. So you do need to be on. So there's a couple ways you can do this. One of those is if you have a mobile device, happy hoarder, what you can do is you can take the guest link and you can send it to your mobile device, and that will come into the studio as a second camera. So that's one option. Now, if you happen to have a mobile device and a main microphone and things like that in the same location, you're going to need to plug into your phone. Let me get this real quick. So if you're using a mobile device, you're going to want to make sure you have a dongle of sorts plugged into your mobile device and a pair of old headphones connected to that device, because your mobile device does not automatically it doesn't automatically mute. You have to, and that's a device specific thing. So just kind of keep that in mind. But that's if you're going to use the mobile option. The second option is if you're a StreamYard Pro user, you can use the share functionality, and there's an option that says share extra camera. Let me actually, I'm going to screen share this so you can see this. I don't have an extra camera connected right now. And there's actually a third way to do another camera as well. So let's do this.
Since we don't have Charles here, I've got my applause button up.
Oh, good, man. We don't need it. We're good. We're good. Let's see.
Oh, okay. Just
so
thought I'd offer.
No, all good. I just want to make sure we don't, I want to make sure it's royalty free and whatnot. So, okay. So let's do this. Let me put this way actually. Okay. So the question is, how do you have multiple cameras? So for example, now if I have the StreamYard Pro account and I go to settings down here at the bottom, settings. If I click on share and then I go to extra camera, it's going to pop up a second camera option. Actually, here, I'll show you this. So you can see this. So there is a second camera I have here, and now I can say share. I'm not sure what this is gonna. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, and so now I'm gonna have an extra camera here. So I'll be able to then switch between those cameras. And as you can see, you'll see there's a second camera right here, for example. So I'll be able to have two different cameras in my stream. Here, I can actually start this camera, and now here's how that this view. This isn't necessarily going to be the view that you're going to do, but you could have your main camera, and then your second camera could be a top-down view, or it could be a fisheye lens or something like that. But you'd be able to have two cameras at that point that you could work with. So that's how that works.
And the third option, you said there are 3 ways.
Yeah, and the third option, yes, good question, yes. And the third option is to use something like an 8 mini, which would, it's not going to let you have multiple cameras at once. It will allow you to have multiple cameras connected, and you'll be able to switch between those different cameras with the press of a button. So for example, I could have the main camera, I could have a top-down camera, and I could have, just a shot from behind, and I'd be able to push, for example, on the physical device and switch between those different cameras. That would be having, there's another option as well. So let's see. By the way, I'm just waiting for everybody to give me some info in the chat. So let me get to that. Okay, let me see. And then give me a second. I'm over here. I got to flag a couple of comments as well. Let me, by the way, Packer Dude or Petty Talks, do me a favor. Can you drop the guest link that's already in the comments for Happy Hoarder, please? If they want to come on screen. Thanks.
Give me just a second. Oh, you mean so like copy it and repaste it?
Yes, please.
Yep. Give me just a second here.
Let's see. I'm just looking through if there's any questions. Remember, if you got questions, put a Q in front of it. Makes it easy for me to find them. Please, please, please help me. And yes, here's another one. There's actually a fourth way, by the way, as well. How we got here, genealogy, saying you could use, well, this would be a fourth way. You could use OBS virtual camera as well. That would be using an additional piece of software and then bringing that into StreamYard. So let's see. So let me go check the chat. Give me 1 second. And let me see what we got going on. Okay. So backyard politics. I think you have I think that, so they were actually, I think you got a feature request there. So if that's a feature request, do me a favor, put that in at streamyard.com/contact. Unless you want to, let me know if thumbs up if you want to come on screen for that, or if that's just a feature request you have.
Sorry, I'm scrolling back to find the link.
Yeah, and you and Petty Talks can both work together on that, please. I want to just thank everybody for bearing with me. It's we usually have a lot of help, so let's see. Okay, let's see. So let me see. Data is king. So Data is king. Do you have a stream you want us to take a look at, or do you want to? These are some people backstage. Data is king. Do you have a specific question, or what's your? Just let me know in the comments if there's anything specific.
So,
were you able to find the link, Packer dude? Because I think all we gotta do is copy the browser address and send it. I think that will work.
is it the FKT link that you want? Like the StreamYard.com/FKT
No,
link?
it's 399.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the one. And
Thanks.
just copy. If you're on YouTube, Packer dude.
And either of you can do that. Just either of you can do it. Just if one of you could do it, it'd be great. Thanks.
Sure. Sorry.
Oh, I got it.
Okay. Let's see. So Joan Benko. Okay. So Joan, I know Joan's probably got some questions. I've chatted with Joan before. I think her show is Let's Go So with Joan. Is that right? Did I get it right? Great. Do me a favor, Joan. I don't know what your question is. I sent you a chat. I would like to know what it is before I bring you on. So if you can just let me know in the comment and in the private chat, that'd be great. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm seeing your questions. Perfect. Okay, let me see. Okay, so while I read through Jones, I'm going to go and bring up Ghost Host Tom. Tom, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come on. Great.
This is weird. It's not letting me comment.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing, Ghost Host Tom?
Good.
Okay, so you have a question for us, right? And your question is...
Yeah, we do a main show, which is just a panel discussion show.
Okay.
But we talk about all things paranormal, cryptids, you name it, ghosts, whatever. We've just recently started a little short 10-minute version that we stream on Friday nights. It's just one single story. And I've tried using some of the background music that you offer, but nothing seems appropriate for what we're doing. It all's a little upbeat and happy, and it's great music, but not appropriate for what we do. On the previous live stream that y'all did yesterday, I think it was, I asked a question about it and got a response back that gave me details on how to use other music. And I have some copyrighted music, but that's all. But I was seeing if there were plans for adding to that music list more than just a few options that are there.
So I know that's a question. We've had a lot of questions. People want, basically, okay, so for those of you, let me preface this for everyone who's watching as well. For those of you who are watching inside of StreamYard, if you go under brand and then go under, and by the way, I'm gonna put a 5-minute timer on our just having this up. I'll try to get this done in 5 minutes. So for those of you who are in StreamYard right now, if you go under brand and then look under background music at the bottom, you have access to some tracks basically that we've uploaded that let you change the volume, loop, and so forth. Now, what Ghost Host Tom is wanting to do is he's wanting to basically bring in his own music. Now, the ways you can do that right now, so the ways you would do it right now is you would want to use something like Voicemeeter. If you're on a PC or on a Mac, you would use Loopback. And those basically are programs that are designed for taking the music. You take the audio track, you put it in their program, their player. And then what they basically are doing is routing, think of it like cabling. You're routing one music track and you're routing your browser, for example, and you're bringing them together, producing one final audio mix. Okay. So that's one way that you can, that's two ways basically on a Mac or a PC. Those are two ways that you can go about doing that. We have a YouTube video on that as well. If you just go to youtube.com/StreamYard, search for, are you on a PC or Mac?
I'm on a PC.
Okay. Search for Voicemeeter, and there's a video on setting up Voicemeeter for streaming and then also setting up background music directly in there.
Excellent.
So that's going to be one way. The other thing you can also do, so some of your microphones that you're using, so if people are using like there's a Wavelength 3 product. It's a microphone from Elgato, and it comes with software that has that routing capability. So then you could bring music from other players. In addition to that, there's also, for example, if you're using like a Rodecaster Pro or a piece of hardware, you can also bring your music in through that as well. Okay. So, and in terms of your other question, yes, like we're working on, we've got a lot of people asking for that same question, which is, can I upload my own music? And the answer is we're working on it. It's a question that's come up quite a bit.
Well,
when more of a licensing thing, trying to kind of figure it out.
Sure. Well, that was when I asked the question, that was my first question in yesterday's live stream was, can I upload my own? And that was the licensing issue did come up, and
that's the big thing.
Yeah. And I mean, the second part of my question was, it would be so much easier if StreamYard was going to provide more options as far as background music in that list that's over on the lower right under brand.
Again, it also comes down to making sure you find the right tracks. That's the other thing.
Sure.
So, I mean, we're working on that, but my recommendation would be to use a voice meter or a loopback to do the audio routing. That's what I do myself.
Well,
and I do that because it actually gives you a lot more granular control. So, for example, I'm going to throw out, some other things that you can do. For example, I use loopback on my Mac, and it will allow me to route background music. I will have my main audio feed that's coming in. I can rule out other pieces of equipment, so I don't have to, or windows or things like that, so that audio does not come in. And then the other thing you can also do, for example, for your show, if you want to add sound effects, that could be another thing.
True.
So then you'd be able to, so here's what you'd be able to do. You basically be able to take 4 items and route them into one stream, and you could change the volume on each one and so forth.
Right.
Versus if you had just background music and you wanted to play sound effects, you still wouldn't be able to do that at the same time.
Right.
And you'd have different audio, you might have the sound effect playing at the same volume loudness as the background music, for example. So just kind of keep that in mind, but it's something we're working on.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the help.
Very welcome. I appreciate you coming on and helping and asking the question. It's a good question. So,
all right.
Awesome.
Well, I'll leave it to you then. Thanks so much.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Let's see what else. Well, let's take a couple questions, and then I'm going to bring in a couple other people. So again, by the way, data is king. Do me a favor, check private chat. I sent you a private chat. If you want to come in, just let me know. Let's see. Okay, so let me pull up a couple questions we've got. So this is a good one from Dancing Alone with, I assume that says with rentals. If I'm and I want to hear from both of you as well. If I'm volunteering to help someone stream off screen, does the strength of my computer hamper the whole stream? It should not, but if it shouldn't, but if you're the host, like if you're the one that started the stream, I would say you'd want to have strong Wi-Fi in that sense. Wi-Fi. You want to have strong internet. We always recommend hardwiring, by the way. But just kind of keep that in mind. What do you think? What do you think, Petty Talks and Packer Dude?
I definitely. Sorry. I definitely agree, because if your internet is unstable, that will definitely affect your camera quality and your sound quality, because your camera may start going pixelated and your sound quality will, no offense, make you start sounding like a robot.
Okay. Yeah.
In my case, I think like if one of the people, if somebody's volunteering and the internet of that person's not good, it in some way it can, because like sometimes like when I experience this, when I have people that volunteer and then their internet fluctuates, and I expect them to touch a button, like show a video, and then all of a sudden their internet's like wonky, and then the video's delayed. So it also counts that the people that volunteer for you have good connections, because you rely on them to push the buttons, the overlays, do the switchings, show the comments, and then they're pressing it and nothing happens. And then, so things get delayed. So it's important that you all basically have good internet connection.
Okay. Got it. Definitely. So again, you want to make sure you hardwire, as Adam's exploits recommended. Again, hardwire. Another little tip, by the way, for you as well. If you're hardwired in, and you have every computer has a Wi-Fi signal as well. If you are hardwired in, try and turn the Wi-Fi signal off as well, because you don't want to have both signals going at the same time, because what can happen is they can actually interfere. So just keep that in mind. So if you're going to hardwire, turn off the Wi-Fi signal on your laptop. So keep that in mind. Okay, so let's take a couple more questions, and then we've got a few people backstage actually. So let's see. Let me see. Tom wants to know, any chance they can see Stream Deck work directly with the Stream Deck? So you can already import a profile. I'm guessing you're asking if there's a way to have it go directly through like the Elgato Stream Deck store. I think that's what you're asking about. But right now, if you're using a Stream Deck, and for those of you who don't know what a Stream Deck is, it looks like, give me a second. Let me actually unhook this actually, and I'll show you. So for those of you who have a Stream Deck, this is one of many Stream Decks. This is I think there's like 30 something buttons on here. Let's see. Yeah, 32 buttons. So there's this one. There's also this one as well, by the way. They all work the same. This is the Stream Deck pedal. Basically, this will allow you they both basically do the same thing. You basically can have the buttons either touch buttons or put them on your feet, where you can push down on a pedal and be able to make some camera adjustments or things like that. So Tom, if you're asking about like working directly with that through the store, that would be something that I assume we're going to work on that at some point. Just because right now the integration is you have to open a file and then just install a profile to make Stream Deck work. So, but that's a good question. Let's see. Let me take this one other question real quick. Let's bring this one other question up. And if you can both speak quickly on this. This is a question from Canva Classroom. They want to know, how do you choose mods for a live stream? Do you need mods if you're new to live streaming? What's your take?
As I mentioned with the last person who said they were having extreme trouble with trolls, make sure you know the person very well and trust the person or people, because you don't just want to randomly be like, oh, hey, you want to be a mod? Oh, hey, you want to be a mod? Oh, hey, you want to be a mod? To just any random person that appears in your chat. Because then you're just adding a bunch of random people, which is not a good thing, because then the strangers that you have added could end up potentially ruining your channel.
Okay, Patty Talks, what do you think? You're muted again.
First of all, you have to give clear objectives to the people that you will get as moderators, so that they know exactly what to do. They know how to screen the questions. They know how to screen the comments. So again, informing your team is the best advice, letting them know what you want, how you want it done.
Very good. And so, again, I'd say the other thing also is, my feedback on that. How do you choose mods? Do you need mods? I would say this, it depends on how busy and active your streams are. If you can afford it, have somebody help you with your production. However, if you're just getting started, work within the confines of what you can manage yourself. And then in terms of choosing a mod, sometimes it's going on a stream and looking at, hey, who are the most active people on my stream? And sometimes you'll notice like, oh, well, hey, NLTMW is very active. And then you don't just automatically say, well, hey, I'm going to have them, I'm going to have them be a moderator. I talk to them. I get to know them. I might watch some of their streams. I might ask about their background, their experience, because I want to be mindful about who I bring on for a moderator. And I like NLTMW's question, by the way. He also added, remember, there's a difference between a moderator and a co-host or a producer. So you got a producer that helps you run your show. Co-host, would normally be Charles, who'd be here on screen with me. And then a moderator, they may be, for example, like kind of how we've done this show. We've had Charles be the co-host. We've had Leo run my green room, for example. So he would be responsible for bringing people in. And then we had Eric, for example, might be moderating, at times, and he might be responsible for going in and, blocking people and that sort of thing as well. If we had that sort of thing come up. So, okay, let me go to, so data is king. They said they had a question, and let me see if I can get their question. So, let me bring them on. So data is king. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come on. Okay, how are we doing?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
We can, yes.
All right, great.
So what was your question? Yes. Can you look at the camera actually? Or
Yes.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
I tested my audio yesterday before I was doing a live stream, and I got the green meter as usual, and I thought, hey, I'm good to go. And then I did the live stream, and lucky for me, there was only a few people that attended, but so after the live stream was over, I went back and looked at the audio, and there was no audio. It's just a video. So
Okay,
I'm not sure what exactly went wrong there.
Did you add yourself to the stream?
Yes.
Did you? So what other equipment are you using? Because here, let me share the screen. You can see what this looks like. So for example, if this was, let's just do this. So this might be what your normal stream would look like. You would have no audio on your stream right now because no one is added to the stream. So then if I, for example, wanted to bring this in, and once this is in, as long as this is not muted, there would be audio, for example, and I'll even switch to this other one here. Make sense?
You know what? I probably did. So I was sharing my screen the majority of the time.
Okay.
And I probably didn't have my cell phone there, and that's probably why I didn't have audio.
Okay, yeah. So there are two options there actually. One option would be when you do a screen share, sometimes you also want to make sure you tick that box. If there's audio from the presentation or something you were sharing, you'd want to make sure you tick the box that says share the audio. The other thing is if you're sharing your screen and for example, I'm going to remove Petty Talks right now, for example. So for example, even though Petty Talks was here on screen with us and we were sharing something, they are not in the stream anymore. So there'd be no audio coming in. So it's possible if you didn't have any audio, it's possible you may have removed yourself, but you only did the screen share.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
Okay.
So one thing I wanted to ask is I think somebody brought up about trolls. So is there a possibility that the comments can be screened beforehand in the chat? Is that something that StreamYard is working on?
What do you mean screen beforehand? Like you kind of have to do that yourself. That's the responsibility of the host.
Yeah, I was kind of asking like if so we can see the comments that come in as the facilitator before they're actually posted, so we can kind of filter those out.
The only way so you determine what comes up on screen. So for example, I'm going to bring this one up here real quick from Adam's Exploits. I've read his comment. I'm kind of doing this on the fly. This, for example, by the way, is also geared towards you. So that would be like if you kind of have to determine what comes into the stream, because again, they're coming from all the social platforms. So that's where going back to what NLTMW had mentioned, which was having somebody who is responsible on each of the platforms to respond to those comments. So you have to kind of think of it like this. The more you expand the operation, the more people you're going to want to have on those channels helping you manage if they're very active. So if you're getting comments coming in, everything comes into StreamYard, but if you're having comments on Twitch and Facebook and you're not addressing them, they're still going to be there. Right. So you need to have, you should have a moderator on each of those platforms responsible for overseeing all the comments that would be coming in. Right. And then you can, on some of the platforms, you can go and set rules for certain things as well. So for example, on YouTube, you can go and set rules on YouTube so that, if certain things come in, they don't actually show up. So you either have to decide, so you could say, hold all comments for moderation. You could turn off, you don't want to turn off the live chat because that obviously if it's a stream, you want people to be, you want them to be active and engaged during the stream. Make sense?
So, yes, I see that comment about the echo in the room. So I'm in my settings right now. Should I uncheck the echo cancellation?
You're really far from your microphone. Part of it's the room you're in and then the microphone itself. So yeah, it looks like, yeah, exactly. You can't just like, that mic needs to be close to you.
So I just moved it closer. Is it better?
You got to get closer. You need to be about a fist length away from that mic.
So I'm like right here.
So get up close to the mic and speak into it. Like I'm going to speak into this one I'm using right now.
Is this better?
It doesn't even sound like that mic's even connected.
Well,
it sounds like you're using your onboard microphone on your computer.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
So go into settings at the bottom of your screen, and you'll want to look under audio and see what microphone it's actually picking up. It sounds to me like it's just picking up your, like you can get, like, for example, I'm going to get right on top of my mic, right? And that sounds very different, right? And I'm going to turn my head. And I'm going to talk this way, right? And it sounds different, right? Because the mic is designed to be right there in front of me. And so with that, with the Blue Yeti you have there, you want to do the same thing. You want to, you can test it by getting really close to it, and you should hear a noticeable difference, but it doesn't sound like anything that I hear.
Okay, I'll keep playing with it. I don't know.
So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, for that kind of mic, you're going to want to go to your, are you on a Mac or PC?
I'm on a PC.
Okay. So on your PC, you're going to probably want to go to, let's see. So you're going to want to go to your sound panel. I think that's in the bottom right corner. You're going to want to make sure your mic, what mic is your computer picking up? Okay. So that's because it very likely, it sounds to me like it's picking up the onboard mic on your computer.
So the mic is in the settings, it's the Logitech Brio, which is this.
Right. Which is not that microphone. Brio's, you said Brio, right? Logitech Brio?
Yes.
Yeah, it's picking up the camera microphone. So you want to actually click the drop down and make an adjustment.
Okay.
So you want to switch from, so you'll want to use the Brio for your camera. You'll want to use the mic for your, the Blue Yeti for your microphone. And then if you've got headphones, for example, plugged in, you'll want to have your headphones set to whatever they're plugged into. If it's plugged into the mic, set it for the Blue Yeti. If they're plugged into your laptop, plug it into that.
So I just changed it to the Yeti.
There we go. Yep. Sounds a little better. And then the other adjustments you're going to make on that Blue Yeti, there's a pattern button on the back of it, I think. And so the pattern, you're going to want to adjust the pattern. I recommend the bean, the bean shaped one, or heart shaped. I recommend that one. And those are basically, that microphone is kind of designed for, so for example, there's one that's like an omnidirectional, meaning it picks up all sound around you. Then there's ones that are directly designed to, condenser dynamic, and they're designed to pick up like your voice right on the mic. So.
Okay. But it sounds better.
It sounds like, yeah. Now get closer to it. Pull it closer. Speak into it.
Right here. Is that good?
Keep going. It sounds a little bit better. Yeah. Your room still has a lot of echo, but you at least can get the mic. You're at least are using the right mic.
Okay.
And Joan Banco has a good suggestion. She's saying you can put blankets in the room. She's basically saying you need something that's going to stop the sound from reverberating and bouncing all throughout the room.
Okay, I'll definitely do that.
Okay. So and then that mic, you want to, again, experiment with getting it close to you. If you don't want the mic in the shot, you want to get an arm and put the mic on an arm and have it, like for example, my mic is in my shot, but it's actually below my camera. So you'll want to get an arm if you don't want the mic in the shot. There's a good low profile arm from Elgato that they make, and it can bring it up right in front of you, but not keep the mic in the shot. And then that way the mic is right there in front of you. All right. You don't want to have it like, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to back up. And so like I'm back, and as you can see, my sound doesn't sound as good, right?
Hello.
So the sound doesn't sound great, and that's because I'm not on the mic, and that's because I need to be right on the mic.
Okay.
Got it?
Appreciate it.
Cool. Anytime. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll see you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, let's see. So let's do this. Let's take a couple more questions, and then I've got a couple people. I see. Yes, I see. Happy Hoarder and Let's Go So with Joan Banco. I see you both waiting backstage. I'm gonna bring you in a second. Just give me a second to just answer a couple questions that have come in. So, what question? Are there any particular questions, Packer Dude or Petty Talks, that you think we should pull up?
Let me see here.
And Petty Talks, we got to get your mic. We got to figure out your mic. I keep muting you because there's a lot of
How is this? Is it too noisy?
Yeah, it's very noisy. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna change my mic. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Let's see.
Oh, I love this one. Is there a way StreamYard can add a camera toggle button on the main screen so we can easily switch cameras? Also, is StreamYard going to offer different...
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our backyard politics. That would be a good feature request. So if you have a feature request, I'd say go to StreamYard.com/contact and send that to our development team. Tell them, what you need, why, how do you envision the scenes working, for example. In terms of toggling between cameras, again, I use an ATEM Mini, which is a physical piece of hardware. So if I had multiple cameras connected, I can push that button. I don't have them right now. And I would be able to switch between the different cameras. If you have two cameras connected in StreamYard under share and then extra camera, you can actually just switch those right at the bottom. So there already is essentially a button to do that. But please submit that to StreamYard.com/contact, and we'll do our best to see about implementing something like that. Let's see.
There's a question here. How's my audio? Is it better?
Your audio, is that a question? Like, you asked me how your audio is? Yours still has fan noise. I hear fan. I think it's
I'm going to
fan
shut
noise.
it off. Give me a minute.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hold on.
Okay. Great.
Ooh,
Yeah, what's up?
Carmison Energy 2009. Can StreamYard be used as a platform for webinars with about 100 online participants?
Good question. Okay, so you have to kind of look at it like this. If you're going to broadcast out to that many people, I'd recommend sending it out to a private YouTube channel or an unlisted video on YouTube. And then you'd be able to have, and in terms of participants, no, we do limit how many people you can have. I mean, you can do a smaller webinar, but not for 100 people. If you have 100 people that you want to watch, then you want to stream it out to, like an unlisted YouTube channel, and have people be able to join that way. So, but it's a good feature request as well. So I'd say send that to StreamYard.com/contact, and they can help take a look at that. Okay. So, Jerry, I think you're with Happy Hoarder, right? Okay. So and Joan, I'm going to bring you in. You're going to probably be my last guest that comes on today. Jerry, I'm going to bring you in, and then just tell me what your questions are, and let's see how we can help you. How you doing?
I'm going to add a Happy Hoarder to that.
Okay.
I have so many. Okay. Right now I am editing. And so that would give me a really good example. If I can share that screen with you. Let's see, share screen.
What are we looking at?
I was going to try to share my screen real quick to show you one of the problems. Is it coming up?
I'm not seeing it. No, but
it
just
didn't show.
Tell me tell me about it first.
Okay.
And then
so what is happening?
Yeah.
I was able to get two different screens to work, like my camera, and I was using my earbuds on my other phone.
Okay.
On my phone, because my 4K camera does not have anywhere to like hook up something like plugins or anything. So we're going to get to that in a minute because that's the mic issue. But so I've been trying so many different things over the years. I actually have footage where I did get two screens. I was able to get mine to work, but my partner cannot. I'm in the back. This is not my studio. This is where I'm working on this huge house. But typically we work miniatures, so we definitely have to have our cameras down to show what we're doing and let people like to see us also talking. So that would be perfect. And we've been able to do it. Something has just changed where I have invited my camera is in an incognito window, totally separate window. And I have attached my earbuds. And the problem with earbuds, hooked up is my audio. Once my earbuds are like going, hey, there's nobody here, they will shut off. And all of a sudden we get the screams and we get that feedback and it's horrible. So we can't use these. Well, someone's recommended using a Bluetooth. Great, more money. Because I like to spend my money on my stuff, not on my stuff. I don't know why. But another technique we're trying is to do the flip back and forth, which is we're doing. But like I said, there was a time when I was able to do both. I could have me, like this screen right here, and we see how the other, like y'all are set up right now, which is this way for y'all. You could see our faces. Well, we can't do that anymore. Either one, Nancy and I told Nancy to jump on into the stream. I think she's busy, but it's just like killed it for us because we really wanted that stuff. So what I've been doing is I have been able to actually film so I can at least use the footage when I'm making videos on how I do things. Because one of the times when I was trying to do a split screen and switch back and forth, I turned my I didn't have any audio on because if I leave audio on, you can hear the feedback. But it's like everything we say, we're hearing it afterwards, and it'll make you crazy. And so those are the problems we're having. We're having echo on our whatever headsets or whatever we're using, in my case earbuds, or if I use earbuds on the other thing, they go dead, and I'm counting on the speakers here, and then all of a sudden I get the feedback. So many problems. I actually contacted y'all's customer service about this, and they said upgrade to a higher level. I am not a big not a very big channel. We're growing. I just don't have the funds. I'm trying to use the funds that I get. In fact, I bought into your package that y'all had where you could bring on one team member and have more people in backstage. So I did buy that when I made some money on YouTube. So, and I'm still waiting, to make more money. It's just, I'm not a big channel. So I don't know. I know we really need to do this. And that's what I kind of got involved in StreamYard for, because I was using OBS. But now I'm really trying to be more StreamYard efficient. And both of us are having the same problem.
So I think it's an equipment issue. I think it's the way I think it's potentially like, so for example, you mentioned just a second ago, you mentioned, you had a speaker open. For example, if you have a speaker open.
No, one of the things that I was told to do was to put my camera on a Bluetooth speaker. Okay, well that takes care of the speaker part, like turning it down. But I haven't used that yet because I don't have one.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know you had one. My husband just came in and commented. I'm live, dude. Yeah. So now, what does it want me to put for my audio? I haven't been there yet.
So let's talk about let's try to address these one-on-one. And by the way, Petty Talks and Packer Dude, please do me a favor as well and jump in on this as well. So,
yeah, thank you, by the way, for doing this for us. We need this.
Let's take one question at a time. So what's the first issue? And by the way, and also anybody who's in the comments, if you have any feedback or suggestions on this, please do.
Yes, so Adam is saying try not to use Bluetooth devices, but I have a 4K camera, has no plugins. But I do have.
What do you mean no plugins? Because I have a 4K camera here.
My little camera only plugs into I can't get it into the screen. Darn it. Because if I take
what kind of camera?
First of all, I'm not online. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm on this wireless. I'm wired in. So I have a thing that I plug my 4K camera in. Phil, can you go get my camera real quick? And there's no holes to plug in something. Except to plug it into here. Now, do I need to plug it into this thing, which y'all can't see because it's out of range?
So let's talk cameras. What kind of camera are you using? Let's start there. What type of camera?
What's my camera called? I'll
using a GoPro. We're using a Sony.
Get the camera. No, it's not. We bought it at Best Buy. It's Alta, something. Hey, wait, no, I don't have the other one. We had a 2K handy, but it's not here. Something we bought at Best Buy because we had a coupon. We had a gift card.
So give me a rough name of the camera.
I don't know. I would say it's Alterex, but that doesn't sound right. Yeah, it starts with the A. He's going to bring it. All right, so he's going to bring the camera in. So it has, it's the kind that kind of clips on wherever you want it. You know, it's just kind of hangs over your, yeah.
Okay. So most cameras, so most cameras have, it might be a USB camera. Okay.
Let me tell you what worked before. I had my camera on. I'm using my MacBook Pro camera and audio and all for this, right? No, not right now, but this is me doing it for something else. So I have it all set up and I'm using everything on my computer to film me. And then I had my second camera set up. I had put audio as my earbuds and speakers as my earbuds, and I set them far away because even though you turn them way down, you still get this like tinny sound. So you have to set them out of range. And then what was happening with my earbuds would say, well, nobody's wearing me, so I'm shutting off. And then we would get the feedback. So I had to kill that camera.
So what kind of earbuds are we talking about? Are we talking about wired headphones or are we talking about Bluetooth? Those are Bluetooth. Okay. So
you think those are wired? Oh, I have wired too.
You should always use a pair of wired headphones. Always use wired headphones. We don't really advise using Bluetooth because Bluetooth, they can do exactly what you're talking about, which is if the battery's low, they will switch off. Sometimes if you've ever connected them to other devices, for example, I've got a pair of Bluetooth headphones right here. I'm listening to my, I've got wired headphones plugged in at times, and all of a sudden my phone will switch to these, even though I've not even opened them or connected them or anything like that. So we recommend wired.
Let me look at my thing. So part of that problem was when I got this computer, I don't have any kind of, okay, I'm going to try to rephrase this. I can't spend any more money. I have no more money. I have nothing that will plug into my computer. I have no headphones because we've done this.
You've got a Mac, right?
And I went, so try to think of something where I don't have to spend money.
So that's a MacBook Pro, right? Or a Mac?
Yes.
Okay. There is a headphone port on those.
I have this thing by Ivanki, I think Ivanki, and it's where you can plug in all this stuff, but there's no holes for my headphones on that. It's
so those Macs should have, because I have a Mac as well right here, and there is a headphone port on the right-hand side. It's at the back right. So if you're looking at the screen, it's
really?
Yes, I go through this a lot of times with people.
There should be a little hole that will.
Hold on, time up. So
you're right. I have a little tiny hole back here behind this thing.
So you have a headphone port. You need to now just take your wired headphones and plug those in. So that's going to be that would be for your audio. Now, if you're the only thing, so that would be for your headphones. So you don't have to worry about the headphones are not connecting or disconnecting and whatnot. Plug in a pair of headphones. Now, I will say if you have a very short pair of headphones, the only thing you are going to have to buy is an extension cable like this, because I have headphones as well, but it's a 6-foot cable, and I want to be able to move.
Okay, so let's go back to what I do and what Nancy just joined us, by the way. She's on there, and maybe could bring her on because she and I can kind of explain it better. She's better explaining things. Even though I'm a teacher, you'd think I would know how. Okay. We are artists and we have to have a zone to work in. And if we have wires hanging down, that is a problem. Do y'all understand? Y'all are just talking, but we're working and we have our hands working. So if we've got this wire that's constantly in our hands, that's going to be a thing. And bumping it, I don't know if it may, I'm not real convinced that's going to work for me, but I might be able to use it for the headset for the other set. Is that what you're saying? Using that for the other camera or my main camera?
So you're basically,
does that make sense?
We're trying to understand the setup.
See, the fact that I got this to work. We were doing it this way. I was doing this way. And then something like snapped and nothing's working. Same equipment. This is my life. This is my insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting it to do the same thing. But no, that's not what happens when it comes to technology. No, I was using all these things that I've been doing and making these split screens using both cameras has always worked. He showed me where the hole was for my mic. But yeah, so this is my I'll say I couldn't tell that name because it is
okay, so hold on. Let me just
it's got a glare. Ultratech.
Let me just look at this. So that's a USB web.
Kinda...
That's a USB camera. Very likely that's a USB camera. What's on the back? Yeah, it's a USB-C camera. Okay. Yeah. So it's a USB-C camera. Bottom part is a thread, so you can mount it on a tripod or something like that if you want to.
Yes, it's on an arm that I can adjust.
Yeah, exactly. So to connect that to a computer, all you need to do is plug it into a USB port.
We did that. No, I have that. That's not the problem. In fact,
so
since
that works,
I can't
right?
use this, let me tell you what I do since I can't use it during a live stream. I'm actually running it on a completely different StreamYard stream,
separate computer,
doing a video, so I can use the video later for editing.
Okay.
But no, but to not be able to use it live is a problem.
So if you have a second computer, you can also plug that directly into a second computer. If you have that as well.
I don't. I don't.
Okay.
I'm in my house right now, and this is how our house is. We have, and I have even I know because the first time I tried to do this, I tried to do it having my iPad open and you can't work anything through that iPad. Different, just different quality. Something wasn't right. So we're both struggling, and we both used to be able to do it.
So that iPad, you can also position that as a second camera as well.
Done
you
that.
Can send the guest link to it. You have to plug in a dongle to mute the iPad. That's gonna come in as a second camera. No issues whatsoever.
We've done all that, but we are getting some echo sounds. That was the other problem.
So when you have echo, it's going to come down to you have.
I do not open YouTube. I never am on YouTube because I have moderators to help me with that. So I don't even open it.
What I'm saying is you have an open mic at some point. You basically have an open mic somewhere in your setup. That's what you're getting the feedback from. So
now,
for example,
is there option to not even
phone,
have a mic going because I've turned my volumes all the way down?
No,
and we've muted and we've done all those things.
Mobile devices, if you're using a mobile device, a phone, a tablet, they do not fully mute. It's a function of the
I know
device.
exactly.
Same thing for laptops. It's all don't. You say mute, but it's not completely muted. The mic's always open. So what you're going to have to do, the solution to both of those items, if you have a tablet or a phone, is to you either have to have the dongle that came with the phone or a pair of old headphones. You plug it in, and then you can turn the volume down at that point, and you should not get feedback or echo from that.
Okay.
And that's because if you unplug that and you leave it open, you are going to get feedback. If you don't plug old headphones in, if you don't plug the adapter in, you are going to get feedback from those devices.
So the dongle goes in here?
Yes. What is that, an iPhone 12, 13?
13.
Yeah. So what you have to have is this. And you may have one of these. I'm not sure if they still give these in the box. You need this.
I don't know.
You have to have this, which basically plugs into your phone, plugs into the lightning port. I think that's the lightning one. Yeah. Right. Plugs into the lightning port and then headphones. And just plug it in.
I'm asking my husband if we have that dongle because I haven't seen it around.
Yep. So that's what you need to mute the mobile device, phone or tablet.
Okay. But so my question down here is from my partner is Little Treasures by Nancy. It says, how do we find out where the open mic is?
You got to test.
He says there's like I have them she's on another computer though. So says her questions are different.
It's all testing, all testing. It doesn't, if you're getting feedback in your stream, for example, if I open my phone right now, I would get feedback because the mic would be open. And the only way you're going to test it is to do one by one, i.e., I have a very simple setup. I have one camera here and my audio is running through one product. Exactly. If I'm adding a second camera, and this, by the way, is another thing, we're talking about time and things like that. If you are adding, for example, I suggested upgrading to StreamYard Pro, and the reason I did was because of that extra camera feature. There is no mic whatsoever that is added with that second camera. So you wouldn't have that issue. You'd be able to have your webcam and use the webcam on your laptop, and you would only get audio through one product. As you introduce additional devices, i.e. a mobile device and a tablet as second, screens or different cameras, those mics are open. So you're going to either have to pick and choose which way you want to go.
Well, King of Kampala, am I saying that right? He says too many devices will distort sound, and thank you for clicking on that. Right. Yeah. And so what I have done, I limited it. I don't have anything else open. I don't have YouTube open. All I have is my camera, my 4K, and I have, like I said, the volume, and I had it on my earbuds until this became a problem. I don't know about this dongle thing. I got to wait to hear back from my husband to see where that thing, because no one has ever brought that up. So thank you for that. No one has ever said the only advice I got was to put it on a Bluetooth speaker and like hide the speaker. But I'm like,
I mean, that is the only way you do that would be put it somewhere. But here's the thing: what King of Kampala here is saying, they're saying too many devices will distort sound. They're not saying having an extra window with YouTube playing open. That can also introduce noise.
I mean, so you're having just
but that's not what they're talking about.
Distort the sound. Mm-hmm.
They're talking about having multiple devices in the actual space. So, for example, if you had a main camera and you had another overhead camera, and then you had another camera in there as well, and something wasn't muted properly, it's going to introduce potentially distort sound.
Exactly. Yeah. So Nancy's both my cameras don't have any holes to plug. I think that's plug anything into. And I agree. I know she's kind of got the same problem I do because she's also using these type cameras, not this brand, but yeah, you don't have a plug in.
That everything should have, I'm not sure what kind of cameras they're using. Some cameras don't, like a webcam doesn't have a headphone jack on it. It's not designed for that.
All right.
So
yeah, exactly.
That's just for your camera feed, your video feed, and then your audio runs through your laptop, or if you take a step up, a mixer or things like that. But your laptop should then have a headphone port.
So creative lady, it says, I agree with Christian to do a test. So what Christian said, which I missed, I have run this. I used to make my videos this way. I'm telling you, it's just like one day, nothing I was doing was working. And I don't understand. Like I said, it's like all of a sudden my earbuds were like dying on me, even though they were charged up. I don't know. It was just weird. And I've tried, it's like I have video. I have proof that I actually did this because I have a lot of footage where I have got both of my things showing, both my overhead and me, and I'm talking and I know that there's an echo because I can kind of hear my earbuds over there, making noises, but I do try to keep them out of so that you aren't picking it up. But yeah, the delay is a little annoying when you're trying to talk. Okay, so Nancy, my partner, has the Logitech C920 and a Razor.
Yep, 2 webcams. So again, if she's got 2 webcams, depending on the laptop she's using, she may have to get a hub.
She's not using a laptop. Pretty sure she's using a desktop.
Desktop, they're going to have, so a Logitech C920 connects over USB. It connects, I think, via micro USB to USB-A. And so if that computer, for example, does not have a USB-A port, she's going to have to buy adapters because this is the old way of connecting to computers. This is USB-A. Right. And this is the new way that most computers are connecting to USB-C. And so if her desktop only supports USB-C and that C920, because I know the C920, it's an A connector, she's going to have to buy an adapter like this to be able to do that. If that's the port that she needs.
Right.
That's, so if your computer, it's like your MacBook Pro. Your MacBook Pro has this port on it, this USB-C port, right? That's the port that it has on it. If that webcam is an USB-A port, you're going to have the right kind of adapter to make the adjustment to that to get it to connect.
Right. I don't know if that was.
I think
she's getting her camera to work. If that's what this is all about getting the camera. Her camera works. The 2 of us cannot do a Foursquare anymore, where it's our stuff that we're doing. We both have overhead cameras and our faces. We can't run both at the same. We cannot have a 4-screen up anymore.
Right. Because most computers also will only allow you to connect one camera source at a time. They don't.
No, but we've been able to do it. Now it's not working.
They change it over time.
What? I know this is I'm talking
it always changes. Technology is always moving and it's always moving ahead.
But we haven't bought it. This is okay. What are you saying? There's something out there in the world that's doing this? Because I am using the same equipment I've used since day one.
It comes down to, for example, the browser may not so if I have 2 cameras connected right now, I have a camera here and I connected a webcam. Okay. Or I'll even use my main webcam right now. If I want to switch cameras, I can only have 1 camera running at a time. For example, I'm going to switch to my webcam.
Sorry about that. Am I back on? No, I was trying to unplug this thing so you can see what I'm working with. So I've got all the plug-in things and I've got all that plugged in.
What I'm getting at though is this. What I'm getting at is that this is my webcam and I cannot run this and this at the same time because your computer, they don't allow it. They have 1 video input and they only allow you to have 1 of those cameras running.
I know. Okay, I know this. I know
So
that part. Yeah.
yeah. So they aren't going to allow you to have, you could plug both those cameras in, but you're not going to be able to have both of them come up directly in the product unless you're running it
Yeah,
through
but
as like a virtual camera or something like that.
we've been
So
doing. I don't understand. I have. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what I'm not explaining. I have. Can we invite my Nancy on because maybe she can explain it better? I have videos where I edit for my videos where we'll do because it take we'll live stream for 2.5 hours, you know, and so we need to
Right.
condense it down to a short. This is what we made during that time, and I have footage of all you see all of the stuff going on. And we both have cameras going that are showing our overhead. So
right, but
so
things
everything that
change.
was working is no longer working, even though nothing I've done has changed. That's what my problem is.
So and I'll give you another option you can do here as well, by the way. So
Okay.
stuff changes over time is what I'm getting at.
Mhm.
So what worked at one point may not always work. And
Well, can I ask this?
that's just
When did
technology.
y'all
That's how
start
things work.
Pro? When did the Pro start? We can get a camera. When did y'all start
it had-
offering that?
That was recent, like a few months ago.
That's
what I'm getting
you
at
think
is
that's where our problem is because I'm not on Pro. I'm on the other one. I'm on the one where y'all had this special for a while, and I
No,
signed up
I
for
don't
that
think it's
one.
that. I think it's if you ever wanted to pull up multiple cameras, like right now in StreamYard, if I want to pull up a
Oh, I understand
camera,
because I've already been through that. I've already, like I said, they sent me all the information on how to do that, and I said, right now I just can't afford to do that.
Okay. So I'll give you another tip. The other thing you can also
just my
do,
phone.
and I'm gonna, and this is, and I got to keep things moving because we have.
I know you do. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I want to make sure I try to give everyone as much time as possible.
Exactly.
So let me actually get my Windows set up, and I'll show you how I'm doing this. So
okay, computer browsers changes, but I'm reading the Canva Classroom, which can result in being able to do. Okay, so it's the computer browsers and updates. Carl said, thank you for doing that. So that could make sense, Canva. Thank you for saying that. Well, a recent update may have caused this problem. Even if I was using, like, sometimes I'll try to use like my phone as a camera because my 4K, I was getting really blurry images, and and once again, did everything the same way I always do it. And why is my video being so blurry?
So that's
through my feed.
So blurry video, chances are it's going to come down to computer. It's going to come down to internet. You know, if your computer, for example, is like they only have so much video bandwidth to give. So then the more you're adding, you're taxing the computer. And if the computer video looks really crisp right now, it looks very good. And so
because I do plug in, I am plugged in, and like this is my, and I'm overlit because I'm under my work light here. But
so what I'm saying is, it's so it comes down to, like, for starters, if the lens is blurry, and I like this comment from Creative Lady, clean the lens. So wipe the lens with a microfiber cloth. That's gonna be the first thing. And then the second thing would be, as you're introducing more camera equipment, like if you're trying to run 2 or 3 cameras, and your laptop, for example, is not powerful enough to do that, it's going to struggle at some point because there's only so much bandwidth that it can give to video. And so as you add another taxing camera and another, like if they're both 4K cameras, or and your computer can't handle, because 4K is a very high resolution, your computer is going to struggle at some point. And so that can lead to one of the cameras showing up blurry.
Okay.
If you're sending it to a mobile device, for example, and that's your second camera, if your mobile device is connected to Wi-Fi and you're also connected streaming in as well, you're potentially going to run into an issue where, your
that definitely makes sense if I use my phone. Yeah. Nancy says, I've used Chrome for one camera and come in as a guest from an Edge or Safari with a second camera.
Yep. You can do that with a mobile. Yeah.
She's having the same problems though that
you can do the same.
Oh, by the way, Michael J. Yes, if you're talking about me, yes, I do have an overactive mind. I've got a video that's do. I have projects to do. I have a place to be. Yeah. So, but this has been an ongoing. This was not a problem. Now it is a problem, and it is affecting what we're doing on our live streams. And we would just like to put out the best live streams possible. This is why we go through StreamYard. So.
And I'm also going to bring up my friend Coffee Talk and Tech here as well. Another thing you have to look at, and this is a great point, when you're running into a hub like something like this, for example. This is
that's what I'm trying to show you. Thank you. Let's talk about that.
These have limits. They have limitations.
That is what I needed to know.
There's two types of these. There's this, which plugs into a USB-C port. And the thing is, this only has so much power to give. So if I plug in a camera, say I'm plugging in a camera, and a hard drive, and a bunch of other stuff, this can only give out so much. And at some point, it's going to be your bottleneck.
Exactly.
So
I can see that.
Okay. Now, there is another one. I have it on my desk. I can't pick it up because everything's plugged into it.
That is what I was trying to talk about at the beginning. Yes. Is that part of my problem? But Nancy doesn't have one of those, and she's having the same problem. So,
well, no, hold on. That does factor into things as well. So if you're just using a laptop, and I got to keep things moving. So if you're using just a laptop and you're plugging in like a whole bunch of stuff, right? Again, that computer only has so much that it can give out.
Right.
So you could be having too many things that are taking too much power from that laptop.
And that's going to cause the blur.
That's going to cause, exactly. It could potentially cause that because your computer
that is exactly what I needed to hear about that.
Second thing, people then get this. These work to a certain degree, but if you plug in if you plug in a hard drive, and a hard drive, for example, or even a camera, these just because these have all these ports doesn't mean that it can support all of that power at once.
I can understand that, yeah.
So
I only have two things plugged in: the camera and the wire that makes me where I'm not wireless. The wire into the.
That's one option, and then the third thing is if the thing and I'm not saying you have to get this, but I have a dock that literally plugs into a power outlet, and it has all my ports on it, and I don't have to worry about there's not enough power. Because it's sucking the power from being plugged in. It's actually getting power that it can then give out. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Versus this only has so many, you plug so much stuff on here. It's only got so much it can give out. So just kind of keep that in mind. But all that stuff, the more stuff you plug in, again, I'd go back to this. Keep your streams simple. So keep them simple and then start like both you and your colleague Nancy. I would say start small. Okay, so get the main video feed working. Get that working. For example, keep your audio setup very simple. Plug in wired headphones. Use the main feed, wired headphones. Okay, how does that sound? Great. Let's introduce a second camera. Let's take our mobile device. Let's send the guest link to the mobile device. Make sure we've plugged in the dongle to completely mute it. Right. Set that up in your space. Okay. Talk.
Well, Christian, I will definitely do the dongle. Yeah. I'm sorry, I keep bumping my little stand here.
That's fine.
The dongle, I think it's going to be a big help. Thank you so much for the notes. I know you need to go. Thank you so much for notes on that because that was one of the first things I wanted to address. If that was part of the problem with the blurry videos. By the way, Nancy says I have 2 external drives connected to the front.
So
and like I said, we're both, college educated women, but when you're in the middle of doing a broadcast and things go wrong and you're like, okay, guys, just gonna have to scrub this one. But, so it just ends up us talking and having to show people what we're doing. Not good footage that we wanted. So.
And off of that, this comes back to the importance of, like I said, you build up. So set your first camera up, the stuff I just talked about, set your first camera up, make sure the audio and the video sound good. Test that in the stream before going live. Great. Next thing, you want to introduce a second camera. Plug in your second camera, plug in the dongle, make sure it's muted. Now practice switching between that and do a test recording and see, is there echo, for example? If there's echo, that means that there is an open mic somewhere in that chain, whether it's maybe the dongle is not plugged in all the way, for example. It could very well be something like that. So test out, see what that sounds like. Then move to your next person, do the same exact thing. So you basically are building up. So instead, what a lot of people do is they plug everything in and they say, okay, now I'm going to do this. And then you have to kind of work backwards to figure it out. So keep it simple. Okay.
Can I say one thing before I'm out? Adam, I love you so much for saying that because we say that all the time. Adam Exploit says, that's live streaming. Not if something will go wrong. It's what and when. Absolutely. It's a daily challenge. Yes. And believe me, being crafters, yes, we have so many little weird things that stay glued together. We have learned how to keep a good, positive personality through our live streams when everything goes wrong. But thank you so much for your help, Christian. That was a big deal. Thank you all for your contributions in the live stream and the comments. Because yes, the dongle, I'm going to definitely try that out first. Don't know how that wiring is going to go across my work area. We'll have to just try it out because we do want to be back to putting out our best that we can. Thank you.
And keep that in mind, by the way, with your wiring. I mean, again, just like decide on what kind of desk setup you're going to have. For example, I'm sitting at a desk right now, and if I were going to do top-down stuff, I might want to have a totally separate area where I'm doing that.
Well, I have quite a rig, but I do have an interesting setup for our overhead, and we have been doing the back and forth. But once again, you have to have your audio set up for that as well. It's just it's because at one time we were able to do both. We really wanted to be able to have both our faces and our work, kind of like we have it set up now.
Yep. So that's what I say is just make sure your setup works for what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to do, if you're doing crafting, make sure you have the setup like it needs to be to work for crafting. If you're doing talking heads, for example, you don't necessarily need a top-down camera. It depends really on what you're doing.
Oh, exactly. Well, we're crafters. We're not really, although we talk a lot, we're trying to be crafters. And
so I would tell you,
like you see the benefit of having a backdrop, because a lot of the stuff in the backdrop is what I'm working on, but I also want to be able to do close-ups. Well, thank you for that. We're getting off into that again. I think your two biggest helpers are going to try the dongle and to also try, because the wireless was not working. And then also, I only keep two things plugged in, but I'm glad you addressed that as well.
Yeah, just, again, if you notice that things are slowing down, start with one thing. Plug one thing in, see how it works, plug in the second thing. You notice a change. If you do, there's something pulling a little too much power here.
Exactly.
So again,
Nancy and I will meet up after this your live stream, and we will go over some of these things together, and we'll try to set something up. So thanks again for your helping out.
And then the last piece of advice I would give you is join the StreamYard Facebook group. Go join the StreamYard Facebook group as well, and ask your questions there as well. Feel free to ask those questions.
Okay.
And
like I said, I got quick responses when I contacted customer service, so it's been great. It's been great, and I think I'm on the Facebook group too as well.
Awesome. Yep.
And I won the duck. So I've got my duck. It's in the background. And when I'm doing my studio shots, he's always in the background. So I got my little ducky.
Thanks for joining us. And
all right, bye, everybody.
Just let us know. Thank you. Bye. Okay. Let's see. Where do we go from here? I'm over my time.
Would you like to, are you over time?
I got one. I can go for a little bit longer. I'm going to go and bring on Joan, can we take a couple of questions real quick and then bring you in? Okay, perfect. Joan says yes. Okay, so let's take a couple of questions. I'm going to mute. I think that's Petty Talks. Yes, I'm muting you again. Let's take a couple of questions here, and then we're going to bring in our last guest for this week's show, or this month's show, I guess you could say. Let's see. So I'm gonna kind of shoot through a couple of these. So. Karma's Energy 2009 says, are comments, questions visible to all or only to the moderator, etc.? So in this case, they're visible to me because I'm the admin on the account.
I am on it real quick.
What was that?
Oh, I love this one. Why are my from
what? I thought you were answering
this
question.
One's from the guest we just had on.
What's the question?
Okay.
Your audio, something's wrong with your audio, actually, I think.
He has a lag, I think, an internet lag.
Okay, let me find. I'll wait till your audio fixes, or till your video and audio kind of get in sync, and then we'll address those. Let's see. So
there's a question I can answer here. How do I use a video or GIF as a blue screen background?
No, I was reading another question.
You can't do that.
Okay, so let me take that one real quick. How do I use a video or GIF as a blue screen background?
Give me just a second.
So what you're going to need to do with that, David, is, let's see. So I don't usually do that very often. You could turn on the green screen feature inside of StreamYard. Let's see. So if you go under settings, actually at the bottom, go over to virtual background. You could upload an animated GIF there. That might be something worth trying. But typically, if you have if you have a blue or green screen behind you, sometimes people will bring it into OBS and then bring that into StreamYard as well. So they'll bring it into OBS, set that up with their background, and then bring all of that into StreamYard as their main camera feed. Let's see. What other questions? How do you chat on a Fire tablet? Doesn't let me chat comment. So it depends on the device. You may need to potentially turn the device sideways. If it's a Amazon Fire tablet, I don't have a Fire tablet to test that on, but it could just be an orientation. So you could have it in portrait, and you may need to switch to landscape. Let's see. We answered this one. This is a good one from How We Got Here Genealogy. At what point of regular live viewers should you consider using mods? Do you want to take that one, Petty Talks?
I think we talked about that earlier today, that when you said that if there's not too much activity, there's no need to get a moderator. But as the comments start really piling up, then that's when you start considering getting a moderator. We discussed about that earlier in the stream, I think.
Okay, so let's see. Let me take a couple more questions here. This is a good one from JV's Hangout. They want to know how I added this cool little timer. And this is, so for example, if we want to do like a 5-minute countdown timer or a 3-minute countdown timer or 10 minutes. So this is very simple. All this is it's an animated GIF. For example, it's a 5-minute animated GIF. And then I upload it to the logo area under brand. So in StreamYard, go to brand, logo, and then add the animated GIF if it's under 3 megabytes. And now I have a nice countdown timer. It does loop, by the way. So if you get to the end, you just have to remember to remove it. But that's how you go about adding that. Let's see. Chris Allsup's asking about integration with TikTok. TikTok, Instagram, these are questions that have come up. They don't support streaming outside of their platforms. There are third-party tools. If you use those third-party tools or even connect them, they don't like it, and they can ban your channel if you do that. So, or ban your account. So just be mindful of their terms and conditions for using their platform. Let's see.
Would you like to answer this? How do I do the screen share? Every time I try, I get a few coming on the screen. That's by Lawson Sheka.
Who's that for? Is that in starred comments or no?
No, it's in starred comments, Facebook comments by Lawson Sheka.
So for something like that, how do you do screen share? Screen share is very simple. Just hit share, and then there's a screen share option at the bottom. You then have some choices. You have the ability to share the entire screen. So if you share that and you get a lot of things coming up, that could be why, because you're sharing literally the whole screen. If you share a window, it will let you pick which window shows up. And then if you want to share an individual Chrome tab, you just click the tab option, and it will let you share that. So that's how the function works.
More questions.
Let me see. I answered the transcript one. So Karma's Energy want to know about having a transcript feature of a stream. What I would do is if you're streaming, for example, to YouTube, or even if you're not streaming to YouTube, send the video to YouTube. And then there is an option to automatically generate a transcript for you on that site. Now, you got to remember, most sites don't give you Microsoft Word as a format. That's not a standard format. So what they'll give you is they'll give you an SRT file, which is a text file. And then if you want to open that into Word, you can try opening it into Word. Sometimes you have to open it into Notepad or text edit, copy what's there, and bring it in. But that's so that's how that typically works. Let's see.
Quick question here, Christian. Are you going to be live on the 4th Saturday of the month now?
Yeah, we started doing that. Yes, so we'll be on once a month. So we'll be on once a month. We're based on once a month. So it should be the last Saturday of the month. Let's see. Let's see.
Anybody in the studio?
Adam's let me wrap with this question, and then I'm going to bring on Let's Go So with Joan. How's that? So
Go ahead.
Let me just find his question. Okay, so Adam's Exploit wanted to know, question about earbuds. You use an expensive brand. What is it? And any other recommendations? Okay, so I'm using, these aren't expensive actually. These are the Shure SE. I think these are the Shure SE 215s. These are in-ear monitors. So basically they go over my ear, in my ear canal, and then I have a cable that runs down my back. They're about between $75 and $100. All I use them for is streaming. I don't use them for anything else. So I will say, you mentioned other ones you're using that are comfortable but not uncomfortable. These can get uncomfortable at times if you're wearing them for long stretches. So I wear them, I then put them away. I don't wear them very often. But they're Shure SE 215s. Feel free to message me. I can send you a direct link to those. I like the Shures. I like the Sennheisers. In-ear monitors allow you to have that clean look. For example, you've got Petty Talks and she's wearing earbuds, and those will work just fine. But it really depends on what kind of look you're going for too. If you're going for something that like is clean and you're like, you know what, I don't want to have the cable running down, get in-ear monitors and they can go over your ear like this. They tuck behind your ear and they have clear and black and other colors as well. So you put them on like that and then they're pretty invisible. And then basically, they can be out of the shot. So that's what I'm using. Okay. Let's go so with Joan. And let's then wrap the show up. And by the way, yeah, let's do that. So I know Joan from, she's been on the show. I don't know if you've ever actually been on the show. Maybe you had you on once. She's muted right now, by the way. Let's let her unmute.
Sorry about
How
that.
How we doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, it's good to see you live and in person.
Good to see you as well. You too.
Yeah, I've been following for a long time. And my first thing, I just wanted to say a big, huge, gigantic thanks for all that you do and all that everyone does on these StreamYard shows, because I've learned just mega amounts and each stream gets better and better because of all of you and all the great tips that I get. So.
Well, I want to commend you on your background. I got to say, I like the look of your background.
Thank
I know.
you.
So, for example, you're going, let's go so with Joan Banco. I like the fact that you've got are those bobbins in the background? Maybe I got the word right. I'm not sure.
Well, there's a little sewing machine print behind me. And then these are products that I actually have. So I do embroidery designs for sale and people buy them and then decorate their clothes with them. So that's one of the things I do.
Well, I like the look, and I gotta say your audio sounds really good. I'm not sure what microphone you're using.
I'm using a Blue Yeti.
Okay.
And it's not terribly close to me, but it's pretty close, within about maybe about 12, 14 inches.
I'm going to guess you have blankets, or you probably have some sort of.
I got a lot of stuff in this room.
Okay. And I want to talk about that real quick. So, when we were talking with, I think it was Data King, I think earlier, and their room, it sounded very hollow, right? And so it didn't matter. Like if they got the right kind of mic, some of the mics, they can kind of get rid of some of that noise. However, if you're in a space and you record and it sounds like you're in a tile room or a glass room or just an empty room, it's going to sound odd. It's going to sound off. You're not going to get the right sound for that microphone you're using. And so in your case, I like that you mentioned you've got stuff in your room. I have stuff in my office, for example, things that are I put carpet down so that the sound doesn't bounce off as much. So I like that you've done that because it sounds good. I don't hear background noise. I mean, I can mute. I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to mute our stand and co-host Petty Talks, and you can just listen, and there's no noise.
Yeah, great. I've worked hard on trying to improve. Get my lighting good and my background good and my microphone good and everything. So little by little, I've gotten better and better. The last live show I did. I made the mistake of forgetting to switch over to my Blue Yeti. And so I'm using a Brio camera on webcam. Yeah. And when I rewatched the show, within a second, I knew what I did wrong. But actually that was another one thing I want to thank you for. I watched one of your recent Amazon shows, and you were talking about doing basically a checklist. And it's like, what, I need to do that because I know what I need to do. But sometimes in the moment you're getting your guest ready and you're doing this and that, and you just forget those little things that are so important. So
yeah, absolutely. And that's key. Here's the other thing. It's, for example, for today's show, I know I've been late in the past showing up, and this week I said, you know what, or this month, I said, you know what, I need to make sure I'm here ahead of time. And I got my coffee, I got my water, I set up a timer over here, which basically that's the only thing I didn't follow because I said I was going to be on for an hour and a half.
Well, I appreciate that.
And so I did all that. And the thing is, then I made sure I was in my seat, ready to go. And so I tested my audio, I gave myself enough time. And that's the thing. You got to give yourself enough time. A lot of people, they just show up and say, oh, well, I'm going to go live. Yeah. It's like, well, just like, for example, sometimes something will not work like it used to. And so that's where you need to allow time to diagnose and solve the problem. And don't freak out. That's the other thing.
That's true. So, that is absolutely true, because things do go bump in the night. So they do. But I had 2 questions. The first one I answered, it was really a dumb one, and I answered it in my own mind.
How about this?
I guess I was kind of always thinking that when you plugged this in, I'm not using this obviously as a mic, but when you plug that in, it would help eliminate background noise. But of course not, because you've got a microphone, so the microphone's picking up whatever noise is coming around. Although I think with the Blue Yeti, probably because of its I won't bother to try to pronounce the technical name, but the way if you have it set up properly, it's meant to pick up from here to there and not surrounding. So that probably does help, because every once in a while, I'm at home, so my neighbor just finished mowing the lawn, and he was right by my window, and that can make noise. But I think this really, really helps having that type of microphone. For me, anyway, it works.
It does. And the thing with the Blue Yeti, and this is, it's a great point you brought up, which is don't just plug the equipment in and start using it. You need to spend the time learning. For example, how do I need to position the mic? I think you mentioned angling the mic. I think you mentioned not angling that
having
mic,
it straight up. Yep. I learned that.
And then you need to do a test recording. A lot of people actually, I think, had turned the Blue Yeti the wrong direction. And then there are different microphone patterns on that mic as well. So it's not about turning the volume up if it doesn't sound right. Like, do a test without the mic and then plug the mic in. You paid, say that mic was $100.
Yeah.
It should sound very different from your computer mic. So you want to test them out, and and if you're like, well, hey, it sounds exactly like the other one. Well, it probably is the same other mic. It's probably not turned on right. And then understand those patterns, because the patterns are super important. Because as you mentioned, and if this is the mic right here, there's omnidirectional, which is designed to pick up everything around you, which means if you and I are in the same room and we're talking, or you're making noise and I'm trying to do something, it's picking up all that noise. If I'm typing on my keyboard, it's picking up all that noise. So it's about picking up the right pattern. Okay. So that was the first question. What was the other one?
Well, and I'll just make one other really quick point that might help people is I tend to project my voice really, really well. I guess that could be an asset. It could be a detriment, but so I've had to, when I do a test, cause I've been using StreamYard, for guest shows where I have a guest on, and very few people project like I do. So I've really had to try to make sure that even that I have, when we do the test, I might need to adjust myself to be more a little bit in line with them if they can adjust to be more in line with me. So that is
and are you talking about like this, for example, like let's say I was sitting back like this. Are you talking about this where I want to make sure I come up to the screen and I'm, 2 fingers or so from the top. I want to make sure that I, like, for example, I'm matching.
Exactly. And that's tough too, because even if you test, I've had that and we work it all out, and then you get somebody, and then they get relaxed, which is going to, they're going to like this, and then and you're live already now, and you're right. You want to say like, no, remember what we did? Remember?
Yeah.
So my big question that it's one of the things I struggle with is
what's up?
When I go live, I'm going live only on YouTube. I'm not doing anything other than YouTube. And, I want it to be smooth. I haven't used a timer. I just, go live, and then I forget what the next, I think you get a prompt that says you are now live. I think it says you are now live. So is that the sweet spot moment in time when you are like, that is really when you're live? Because sometimes it feels like I have a lag of maybe a second where I'm and maybe it's just that I'm I'm just like taking a deep breath or whatever, but I just want it to be as smooth as possible so that when I'm live to the public, they're seeing me as I am, ready to go live. Does that make sense?
So there's always going to be a delay. There's always, so here's the way I work. I'm literally like right now I'm in StreamYard, and then I have a YouTube feed open, but the only reason I have that open is so I can tag people and things like that in comments, and I have it completely muted.
Yeah.
The video is not going to be one.
I never open mine.
Okay.
I just go right from the StreamYard screen.
Yeah. So that's what I do. I go straight from StreamYard. Now, the way I start every show, I start off with, and I mean, here's the thing. I love showing this. It's like, basically I do this, I make sure I have a logo or something off.
So that's an overlay, correct?
Yes. So I make an overlay. I add myself to the stream. I can mute myself. Okay. And I hit go live. And then in this case, I have a countdown timer I play. So what I do then is I start the countdown timer. That will then play over top. I'll play this right now. So for example, that will come right over top. When that finishes, while that's playing, I turn this off. Okay. So the video literally plays. So it's overlay, go live, video. While the video is playing, I turn off the overlay and I make sure, obviously, I'm already in the stream, right?
Okay.
And then when the video ends, it peels back to whatever the video feed was that I had.
Okay. I guess I didn't really so I'm good. I'll rewatch this. I'm going to write that exactly down because I didn't really understand the exact sequence. And yes, I did hurt my finger today, and I have a Band-Aid on with sewing machine.
That's pretty cool. So very simple. It's put the overlay card up full screen, start the stream. What I do is I wait about 15 to 20 seconds. So I wait about 15 to 20 seconds. I then play my intro video. While that is playing, I turn off the overlay. I make sure I'm in the stream also, obviously. Okay. I turn off the overlay. Okay. So then that way, as the video finishes, what's the next? If I left the overlay on, that would be what would show up next, right? If I turn it off, but I've added myself to the stream and the video ends, I am now on screen. Or it could be the three of us.
Got it.
Make sense?
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
And then I go from there. That's exactly how I do it.
All right. Cool. That's my next test.
Any other questions? And seriously, if you have questions, you're totally welcome to message me.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you immensely.
I want to say thank you very much for being patient and bearing with me today.
No problem.
It took me a little, I haven't done, you all have probably noticed I've not been online a lot. And so I want to thank everybody who's, thanks for helping me get through this.
Well, it's great to see you today and great to see everybody else. I hope everybody has a great, great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Happy sewing.
Okay. So Petty Talks TV, I want to thank you for helping me as well, helping me moderate today's stream. We've had quite a lot of things going on. So I appreciate you stepping in. Really, really, really appreciate that. Let's see if we have any more questions real quick before we wrap things up. Let's see. Good question. One last question here. Yeah, this is from Freedom Patriot Network. Wants to know, what do you recommend for live streaming in public when a business just gives you Wi-Fi and the stream doesn't look that great? So you got to remember, like, if you're on Wi-Fi, if you don't have enough bandwidth and you're trying to stream in the public, there are it's called, like, I think it's called bonded cellular that you can buy, something that would go in a backpack or a bag, and it's designed to be able to give you a much stronger quality. So, instead of going off of so for example, don't use a cell phone signal. Like, your cell phone signal is going to be decent, but it may not be great if you're in, public and there's a lot of buildings, there's a lot of interference potentially. If you're on Wi-Fi, see if you can somehow get that router moved to where you're in the public, but you would probably want to look at, I think it's bonded cellular is what you want. So it's a more expensive cost, but it's designed to give you that quality stream that you need, or the quality bandwidth that you need to be able to produce that stream in public.
I had an experience last Saturday. I was supposed to go live from an event, Pet Summit, and we just had to cancel it because I used my data phone, and it was not possible. So it's so true what you said.
And you got to test. Here's the other thing. You got to test this stuff out. So you know, if you're stuck with mobile, you got to test it out ahead of time. You got to see what's gonna like go to the location, for example, where you need to where you're gonna be streaming at. Go to the location and see, you know, hey, what's the signal like? You know, are there other things that are going to be going on? There's a lot of things you got to really take in consideration.
Yeah.
So awesome. Okay, so we got one last thing we're gonna do.
Yes.
And by the way, we got one last thing we're gonna do. We're gonna do a giveaway.
Oh, great!
And we're gonna give away. Let's see what I got here. How about this? I'll give away my stream, or not my actual stream. I'll give away my StreamYard T-shirt, a StreamYard T-shirt. You don't. So all you need to do, put in hashtag love StreamYard in the comments, and then I'm gonna pull a winner here in a second. And in the meantime, what I want to show you real quick. So StreamYard has a free giveaway tool. If you're on any of our plans, you go to StreamYard.com/giveaway. Bookmark this link, by the way. So we'll just put that, and you only need to enter the hashtag once. Or giveaway tool, StreamYard.com/giveaway. And basically, here, let me see if I have a banner for this. There you go. Yeah, here we go. So you go to StreamYard.com/giveaway, and what you basically will get access to is this. It's our giveaway tool. Let's put that full screen. And the way this works is you basically can start this right at the beginning of your broadcast. So you create a new StreamYard broadcast. You can click the drop down and you can say, okay, well, I want to run the giveaway on this particular stream. You can put in a hashtag. You can put in a keyword. You can leave it blank and just say start collecting. And what it's going to do is it's going to start pulling anybody who's commented during your live stream. And that's available at StreamYard.com/giveaway. There's nothing else you have to do. So let me go ahead and pull up this, and then we'll see if we can, let's see if anyone else has questions.
I have a question on that. May I ask
what's up?
a
Yeah,
question?
sure.
Like when you do the start collecting, once you press start collecting, and those that entered the code ahead of time, let's say you use the hashtag thing.
Yeah.
If they put the hashtag ahead of your starting to collect moment, do they get included?
They should. Here's what I do. I literally, before this show, I started a blank stream. I went to StreamYard.com/giveaway, and I started collecting even before the stream started running. And as comments were coming in, again, they're pulling the comments from social. As those are coming in, they're going into that collection. And remember, they don't have to enter it once. So for example, if I put it blank, that means everything that gets entered, you know, if you enter 10 comments, you're only collecting once. So, you know, just remember, and you can have multiple giveaway windows running at the same time. You can have one for blank, you could have one for a hash, and you could do 3 drawings during a stream. You could have one with, you know, one hashtag, a second with another, and then a blank one, and start collecting. So
one more thing I learned by doing the giveaway tool. If you're trying to use different, like Facebook, I try to use my different pages to have to test it, to have many entries. It will only enter you once. So like I had 5 pages on Facebook. I tried to put comments from each page, but at the end of that, only my main page, my own signed up page was the one that was counted.
Yeah.
Did you ever try that? Have you ever tried that?
I've not tried that.
Yeah, so that's what happens. If you have 5 Facebook pages and you try to put a comment, all your pages are on the live stream, and then you want every page to join the raffle, it's not possible. Because
it might be because it's based off of, it could be based
Facebook.
off the authentication of the user. I'm not sure how they do it, but yeah, so keep that in mind. But okay, so let's go and pull this giveaway winner. And can you hear me? I should be back, right?
You're good.
Awesome. So very simple. Whoever gets picked here, you just need to go to stream. You just need to send an email to marketing@streamyard.com, and we'll get your item mailed out. Remember, you're going to get a T-shirt. So I'm gonna do this. Let's do this. So let me start the giveaway. I'm just going to simply do draw, and then we'll pull up who the winner is. Okay, so let's see who won. And the winner is How We Got Here Genealogy. So do me a favor, How We Got Here Genealogy. In order to claim your t-shirt, you do need to message me. I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't message me, email us, I can't send out your prize. So email marketing@streamyard.com and then just tell me you were the winner on live stream reviews this week. That would be you won a StreamYard t-shirt. In your email, tell me what size t-shirt you wear as well, and I will get that sent out to you. Awesome. Well, I got to say, this has been a fantastic show. Again, Petty Talks, do me a favor, stay on afterwards so I can chat with you. If Hacker Dude is still on, do me a favor, join backstage for a couple minutes. Just chat for a few minutes here. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I got one last comment I want to bring up, which is from Jewel Kitco. Jewel, thanks a lot for just all your kind words and just the support. And again, we'll be back. We're going to have, let's see, tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, StreamYard is going to do the town hall. We do a weekly town hall. Let me find that real quick. We do a town hall tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dan Briggs and Gage Vanentop, co-founders of StreamYard, they'll join, and then you'll be able to, they do a stream every week. It's a quick 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes, right? Yeah. Of where we're at with the product, if there's anything new we're launching or things like that. So make sure you go and join that again here on the YouTube channel. But with that, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We'll see you all with this show next month. So that'll be June. But thanks a lot, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much.